Welcome to the demo for CallQ Studio. Once you've downloaded the software, it'll put a shortcut on your desktop. So we just open up the shortcut and you're taken to the welcome window. Here's one I've done earlier. So we want to create a new show. Click on that and it takes us to the configuration window. We need to fill in all the fields. So show name, Dr. Spook, demo, description, short play. Path to the video, you need to select the film of your show. So mine is sitting here on the desktop, so Dr. Spook, we just click on that and it pops it into this field here, and we can tell it's there because there's a wee clip there. Next you set your thresholds. Normally we set the thresholds about 2 seconds, which allows 2 seconds either way, either side of a cue. Perhaps you might want to set it at 1 second if it's for professionals, but for students 2 seconds either way suits quite well. Next we need to label our cue lights. So for this particular show, cue light 1 is LX, cue light 2 is sound, cue light 3 is stage left, and cue light 4 is stage right. We now get to choose our operator voices. So I think for this show, Mike is on LX, Gail on sound, stage left will be Tracy, and stage right Ian. We filled in all the fields, so we just now click OK. This takes us to the record edit window. We have the film of your show sitting here, timing of the film. This is fast forward, this is rewind, record button, playback button, pause if you need a comfort break, and stop to stop once you've finished programming, cueing your show. This area here will show the cues as you go along, as you record them. It'll show the cues and eventually build up a cue synopsis, which is very useful. Here we have the timer, configure button, and save. So, in order to program the show, all you do is actually cue the show. So in this particular show, once we have first of all though, we need to open up the prompt copy and lay the cue light silicon overlay onto the keyboard, which I've just done. So let's go ahead and cue the show. We've had front of house clearance, standby, LX1 and 2. Oh, sorry, we need to record. I always do that. So press record. Luckily it didn't do anything because I hadn't pressed record. So front of house clearance, standby LX1 and 2.
Standing by.
Thank you. And standby, sound cues 1 through 4. Standing by. Thank you. The first cue, once we've given the opening cues, the next cue comes off a timing, so we need to use the stopwatch. So that's why I'm hovering over the start button here. LX1, sound cue 1, go. We're waiting for 10 seconds. Sound cue 2, go. LX2, go. The next cue comes off the line.
Why did you run? What are you afraid of? I saw what you did. What? What did you see? I saw. I had to do it. I had to do it for us. What did you do to him? Nothing much. I just shot him through the kidney so it bleeds slow. You're a monster.
Sound cue 3.
No, Nessie's a monster. I'm just trying to save
Go.
our lives. He's still alive, isn't he? Well, I told you to bleed
You can
slow.
see the cue synopsis being built up at the moment.
Okay, calm down. Okay, it's down. Just
Waiting
calm
for the next
down.
sound cue.
You shot him, Cindy. Why did you do that? You saw what he was going to do to us. You saw that machine. Which machine? There were so many.
Sound cue 4, go. So let's imagine that that is the end of the show, and we just press stop. You can see here how the program has bunched this first sequence together. That's the end of the first sequence. So the next sequence, we take our operators off standby and stand them by for the next sequence. We need to make sure at this point to click save. Show saved, keep on editing. yes. So what I like to do at this point is just check that I've got all the cues spot on. So what we can do is click on LX1 and sound Q1. That takes us to the beginning of the show again, as you can see. And we just want to play back through the show and check that the cues are in the right place. So we click play. Does that sound cue correct? Yes, that's in a good place. And you can see also the cue lights firing here at the same time as the program shows you which cue you're on. So the next cue will be sound cue 3.
I saw. I had to do it. I had to do it for us. What did you do to him? Nothing much. I just shot him through the kidney so it leaks slow. You're a monster. No, Nessie's a monster. I'm just trying to save our lives.
Now, I think that cue was probably a wee bit late. So I'm going to stop the program and I'm going to go into edit mode. Very simply, if you want to edit sound cue 3, you click here, go into edit. Now the cue was a wee bit late, so we can alter the time here. So let's just take it down a second. So 42 seconds. We're not altering the threshold. What we can also do at this point, if I remove the overlay, is actually type in a description. So sound cue 3 is a groan. So we'll label it groan. There we go. We're not altering the sound cue number at all. We're not altering position here, so we can just click OK. And you'll notice it's 42 seconds now instead of 43, and we've got our description in here as well. So you can build up by just editing and building up the descriptions here. So let us just go to our rewind button just a little bit and check that we're happy with where that cue is now.
Nothing much. I just shot him through the kidney so it leaks slow. You're a monster. No, Nessie's a monster. I'm just trying to save our lives.
Yes, much happier with where that is now. So let's stop the program. And we can now save this. We'll stop the stopwatch. We'll save this. Show save, keep on editing, no. Exit window, exit without saving, it will save it. So we'll just say yes. And this takes us back to this window here, which shows us our show here. If we want to carry on editing, we just click edit again. But we want to cue it. This is the really clever part. Once you've recorded your show, you simply click cue and it transfers it into CallQ Trainer. So now this is maybe a window you're more familiar with, CallQ Trainer. Pop back the overlay and we can just cue the show in CallQ Trainer that we have just recorded. So we acknowledge front of house clearance, hover over the stopwatch, get the prompt copy back to the opening sequence, stand by LX1 and 2.
Standing by.
Thank you. Stand by sound cues 1 through 4.
Standing by.
In your own time with the stopwatch, LX1 and sound cue 1, go. I'm going to make a mistake so you can see that CallQ Trainer is working. Here we are. I depressed sound and we were too early for that cue because obviously it goes on 10 seconds. So to reset, continue, and that's us back to front of house clearance. Thank you very much for watching this demo of CallQ Studio and how it converts into CallQ Trainer. I hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye.